Hey everybody, it's Kneecap here, and we have a lot of World of Warcraft news today. We're going to go through each different article here. I got 4 articles pulled up, and then I'll give my thoughts on each of them and everything like that. One that I don't have here pulled up, but we'll start with is Blizzard acquired another studio that has about 100 employees, and they are merging them all into the World of Warcraft team, from what they said, which is pretty big news. With the goal of putting out more content more regularly for the Warcraft audience. And what I imagine that will end up being is on point 0.5 patches actually having like content and not just like tuning and like small changes and stuff like that, but to have like things like a mage tower and stuff like that on point 0.5 patches. That's just my guess. But overall, this is great news for World of Warcraft fans as they are expanding the team. More devs equals, more better in most ways, right? Obviously, things could go wrong or something, but generally speaking, putting more resources into it should give you a better product. So that's pretty big news, pretty exciting news if you're a World of Warcraft fan. Let's get into more of the immediate news here, things that'll be going live soon here. So the first one is Shadowlands Season 4 is going to be beginning on August 2nd, the week of August 2nd. So it'd be like August 3rd, I think, for EU. So everything's going to end then. Shadowlands Season 3 PvP, Season 3 Mythic Plus, and Cutting Edge AOTC. This is a bit rough for my guild. We are going to be cutting it close either way on getting Cutting Edge this tier. Now, they have said that they're going to be doing more nerfs. That's the next article we're going to talk about. But yeah, this is a little bit rough. So if you want to know when Season 4 is starting, it's the beginning of August. I was about 3 weeks off from my updated prediction there. Very unfortunate. I know my prediction was a little bit hopeful for the end of August, but beginning of August here. And unfortunately, this makes sense when when I actually factored in that they said they wanted a 4-week pre-patch for Dragonflight. This actually makes a lot of sense, unfortunately, especially because my initial prediction would have been beginning of September, the first week of September, but now the 4-week pre-patch. That's a whole month earlier, and this is where we have it. So unfortunately, that's where it ended up for any guilds still working on their Cutting Edge or still working on their AOTC, respectively. This could be a little bit rough. Cutting Edge is down hugely for this patch. So many guilds are looking to miss it, and that's when we'll get into this next article here. So again, the big news, whether you are a Mythic Plus player, PvP player, whatever, is the Season 4 will start on August 2nd. More nerfs are coming to Sepulcher, so this is the only hope for the AOTC or CE guilds that are struggling. Yes, we intend to close the current rating tier for achievements such as Ahead of the Curve with the weekly reset on August 2nd. We have additional tuning in the works with a focus on the end encounters of Sepulcher. We know that currently far fewer guilds are on track to get Cutting Edge, in particular, than in past tiers, and we want to address that in the coming weeks before Season 3 ends. Now, are these going to get nerfed into the ground? I hope so. I'm saying this as someone who's completely biased. I hope these are nerfed into the ground. I hope they make them just complete jokes to kill for mythic end boss encounters. And I hope my guild's able to get Cutting Edge. That's just the reality of it. My guild did hit a wall on Anduin, despite him being nerfed. Now, once the final nerf hit, it was really easy. But my guild did hit a bit of a wall on Anduin, like most guilds did pre-nerf. We did that post-nerf. So we did it in about the same number of polls, maybe just a few, a bit less, but too many polls, honestly, for a nerfed Anduin. But we did hit a thing there. But before that, we were just flying through the raid. But the problem is it took us a while to get our tier sets. We were still doing heroic. We were still doing normal for tier sets. And it put us way behind. It's very unfortunate. Nerf this crap into the ground. Do not do this going forward. Please, I beg you, Warcraft devs, do not make it to where make tier just more accessible. If you're going to have tier sets, do not make us farm normal and heroic for it and waste time and then tune the mythic bosses around having the tier sets to where we have to do that. If anything, only tune like the last few bosses around the tier sets so we can still go through mythic, most of mythic without the tier sets, something like that. Please, I beg you. This raid was a disaster for casual guilds. Let's move on to the next article. New trade chat channel coming for patch 9.2.7. If you don't know, that's what this next little patch is going to be. Instead of a 9.3, I guess it's going to be 9.2.7. Or no, I think we are going to have 9.3. This is just like a little mini patch, maybe. I'm not sure. A new chat channel for searching advertisement services like raiding, dungeons, and PvP. So basically, this is the basically selling boost channel, I guess you'd say, so people don't spam it in the trade chat. So when you're looking to sell these kinds of services, this is the channel that you're going to be using now, meaning that anyone who doesn't want to see it can just not opt into that channel, and then you can probably report anybody who's spamming it into trade chat now. This isn't a huge deal. This is just something that allows guilds who are, doing boosts in the proper way, I guess you would say, the way that's been around since vanilla. I guess real money trading was around in vanilla too, but people who are just selling things for gold to allow them to keep doing that. And so I have no problem with this. I do think it causes issues, but this is just kind of part of a big MMO game. You're going to have people that like sell people boosts or carry people through things. Happens in every online game that I know of. People getting carried through things. So I don't think you can really get rid of it without over policing and taking like a part of the game out of it, because having gold is like a part of winning the game. In WoW, that becomes a little bit murky because you can buy the WoW token, right? So then it becomes pay to win for those people specifically, or at least paid to be equal gear wise with the good players, because you don't really surpass the good players by buying it, but you can be closer to their power level. So a little bit murky there. You can be against this. I'm totally fine if you are. But I'm not. I'll be happy if it's just out of trade chat. I'm actually not even on trade chat on most of my characters because I don't feel like dealing with it. Last bit of news here. This is actually a pretty big one, economically speaking, for World of Warcraft. Region-wide commodities on Auction House, also coming in 9.2.7. Auction House update, region-wide commodities. Auction houses across all realms on a given region now share commodity listings. These include gems, herbs, flasks, consumables, etc. Items that aren't commodities like armor and weapons will continue to be realm specific. The developers note, the auction house you know and use today should look and feel exactly the same. It'll just have way more buyers and sellers available for your commodities. We love for players to hop on the PTR, copy the characters, and help us with the auction house across the entire PTR region. We might schedule a specific time a few weeks for everyone to hop on at the same time to help stress test it. Details to be determined. So this is kind of big. This is especially big if your server's a little bit more dead than others. So a high pop server, this isn't really going to affect you very much. Things like flasks and stuff just fly off. You sell those things very, very quickly, gems, all these things. But if you're on a low pop server, that might not be the case. So everyone will have access to it. There'll be more stuff. It'll also encourage players that are on smaller realms to farm things more or create things more and put them on the auction house. So this is generally a good thing. I think most people just want to see a whole, at least region specific, but if not the entire world on the same auction house. I know that's probably not possible, but that would probably be the best thing. Ideally, is to be able to sell things, because you never know. Like, I wish armor and stuff was still on it as well. They probably don't want to do that because of like BOE gear, right? That could drop in raids and stuff. Obviously, I would just remove that. But I'd love to have more potential buyers for like some of the transmog items that I have to sell, especially like the rare ones. Like I have a T-Boo's Blazing Longsword I'm sitting on right now. I would love to be able to have more potential buyers for that. But this is a good step in the right direction. That should overall be good. It's something people have clamored for a while. So I'm glad that they've actually been able to figure out how to do this. And yeah, this should really, specifically, like I said, help the lower population realms. Whereas if you're on, Illidan as a horde or Stormrage as an alliance, this isn't, or opposite, right? Because you share the auction house, horde and alliance share auction house already on server. But if you're on like one of those servers, Illidan, Stormrage, Area 52, Sargeras, if you're on one of those servers, you're probably not going to notice much of a difference at all. But if you're on a low pop server, you're probably going to notice quite a big difference and quite a improvement on your quality of life. So those are good things there. But yeah, those are the 5 news things, actually, 4 little articles, and then the news that they are acquiring another studio with 100 devs to go into World of Warcraft. So obviously, probably the biggest news is the season starting on August 2nd. So good luck to everybody with that. If you're still working on your AOTC or cutting edge like I am, maybe still trying to grind your PvP or your Mythic Plus rating, this is the clutch little month here we have to try to get this done. So good luck to everybody. Pretty exciting. WoW news, pretty exciting time to be a World of Warcraft fan. Everything's at least trending positive. We won't know for sure how good Dragonflight is until we get there, but everything trending in a really good direction. That's all for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. It helps me out so much. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.